The sad truth is that most evil is done by people who never make up their minds to be good or evil.
We've sounded the alarm. Over 6 episodes now, we've walked through the warnings, the history, the parallels, the ideology, the patterns. But what happens after the alarm sounds? What does it mean to live during the rise? Not just fear it, name it, theorize about it, but to exist within its shadow. Once you know, you can't unknow. So what now? You don't forget the moment you realize your country isn't what you thought it was. It's not just a fact, it's a fracture, a break in your sense of belonging. You start asking questions with no easy answers. Do I stay? Do I fight? Do I leave? Am I overreacting or already late? Hannah Arendt, survivor, thinker, and fierce critic of totalitarianism, wrote that evil doesn't always come from monsters. It comes from ordinary people, doing ordinary things, in a system that rewards obedience and punishes thought. She called it the banality of evil, and I think of that every time I hear someone say, "It won't get that bad." There's a phrase in British politics, Her Majesty's loyal opposition. It means you can oppose power without opposing your nation. That's where we are now, the opposition, loyal not to a party, but to the soul of the republic. We've talked about fascism, about psychological warfare, about control through media and fear and law. Now we talk about the counterforce, the strategy of resistance. Resistance is not one tactic, it's a mindset, a life posture. Sometimes it's a march. Sometimes it's a refusal. Sometimes it's feeding your neighbor. Psychological warfare goes both ways. The bad actors use algorithms to manipulate, divide, and radicalize. But we, the opposition, can use them too. We need to create dissonance within propaganda. We need to fight absurdity not with shouting, but with sanity. If they weaponize misinformation, we need to weaponize memory. If they stir hate, we stir curiosity. The internet is not a town square. It's a battlefield of ideas owned by corporations, ruled by cliques. Use it, but don't be used. Hope isn't delusion, it's decision. Despair is easy, it asks nothing, it feels sophisticated, but it gives the worst people the biggest win. Hope, real hope, costs something. It's gritty, it's strategic. It says, I see the darkness and I still choose to build. During the Nazi occupation of Poland, inside the Warsaw Ghetto, where hundreds of thousands of Jews were confined under starvation, violence, and fear, one man believed the truth had to survive, even if he didn't. His name was Emanuel Ringelblum. With the help of teachers, rabbis, and teenagers, he formed a secret group called Oyneg Shabes, meaning Joy of the Sabbath. Their mission? To document everything. The hunger, the bravery, the death, the resistance. They smuggled in paper, they wrote testimonies, they collected school essays, theater posters, food ration cards, they buried them in milk cans and tin boxes archives of defiance. Ringelblum once said, to give the murdered a voice. Most of them didn't survive, but their archive was found after the war under the rubble. And today, we know what happened in the Warsaw Ghetto because they chose hope over despair, truth over fear. That's what hope looks like. Not fantasy, but the belief that someone, someday, will need to know we tried. We may not face the ghetto, but we do face the question, what are we burying in the ground for the future to find? What record will survive of our courage, or our complicity? So let's build solidarity, sanctuary, sanity, structure. Let's remember, and let us remember we all belong. You don't fight fascism alone. And you don't fight it only with fists. You fight it with culture, with care, with community, and with time. We resist not only on the streets, but in our scrolls, our clicks, our feeds. What we spend time on, we resist with our hearts and our minds and our actions as kindred spirits. Memory must become more contagious than manipulation. Shalom, Professor Ringelblum. Ataw matnoticha la historia zehurim toda. Shitashkin shekina bin hamichubadim ba'alam haba. Yehi mekomka im hatzadikim ba'alam haba. Shalom, Professor Ringelblum. You and your gifts to history are remembered. Thank you. May you shachina among the honored in Olam Haba. May your presence dwell in the company of the righteous in the world to come. This is episode 6, and maybe the hardest one, because once we know, we can't pretend not to. History is not abstract, it's personal. It asks you where you stood, what you risked, who you protected. I don't have all the answers. But I know this: neutrality is a myth. You are either shaping history or letting it shape you. So let's live like we're being watched, because we are, by our children, our neighbors, our future. Live the Renaissance spirit. History has not died, only our understanding of it, and what we do next becomes the next chapter. James Baldwin warned America, if we fail to reckon with our past, the fire next time won't be metaphor, it'll be reality. Maybe I should have started with that.